short update from Indonesia situation about anti-nuke movement in Indonesia. Um, Anti-nuke or no-nuke movement in Indonesia is widespread or increasing because we have the three big situations in Indonesia. The first is our new president, Indonesia new president is former general military, and then second is oligarchy increasing or always have facility from more about natural resources permits, and then civic space in Indonesia actually is mostly happen in many country in the world. Yeah, this very big problem because who the envoy the Indonesia government campaigns currently in this years our governments always campaign about nuclear power plants continue. This campaign is even carried out by the President's Special Envoy for Climate and Energy. The Special Envoy also is the brother our president. This actually in Indonesia we have many location ever in the 34 province in Indonesia. And then this focus this based on document of electric supply business plan for 21 and 30. The other place is still developing for studying and observing. In document of electricity supply business plan, we have 5 sites. Mostly in 4 site is the old plant. Old plant in Indonesia, and then it's nuclear installation installation in Indonesia. We have 4 institutions special about nuke, and the four institutions responsibility directly to the president. And then this West Kalimantan nuclear power plant is actually new, starting in location in West Kalimantan, Bengkayang, teknologi small modular reactor, and the objective is to become the first commercial scale nuclear power facility in South Asia. And this is the threat. Mostly all the Kalimantan Island is we have the threat by the earthquake in the all island in Kalimantan Island. And this Bangka nuclear power plants location in Kelasa Island, or also known as Galesa Island, and the threat is Bangka Belitung have 3 active faults, namely the Pameli fault, the Payung fault, and then the Pading fault. The Meteorology and Geographic Agency has recorded from 81 to 22. We have 27 earthquakes occurred in Bangka Belitung region. Then is the history before when in 2000s, when the promotion of nuclear power plants development was increasing intense in Bangka. They even dare to claim that Bangka was located outside the earthquake and tsunami zone in Bangka Belitung Island. Bangka was located outside the ring of fire, and there had never been an earthquake in Bangka. In fact, their claim is baseless, because in December 2007, with a magnitude of 4.9 on the Richter scale, the epicenter was right at on the one planned location for the nuclear power plant set in West Bangka. And this is Pelten Muria is old plant before 2000s. It's other project initiated in 91 MOU between New Jack Inc. and the Ministry of Finance of the Republic Indonesia. This project failed to continue because Indonesia experienced its monetary crisis in 98, mostly happened in Asia country. The plan was built again in the 2000s, but stopped after many people reject it. And then, however, this plan has now been reviewed in the government's plans. These people from Jepara, Central Java, protest the plan to build nuclear power plant in 2007 with our organization. Yes, about JETP Indonesia. The Indonesia government has implemented various energy transition scheme and mechanism to address the climate crisis, such as Climate Investment Fund, CIF, and then now with the biggest issue in Indonesia is Just Energy Transition Partnership or JETP. However, this scheme rely on funding from finance institution does not change the pattern of energy provision from extractive and centralistic to regenerative and democratic. This is our position in demands about transition energy in Indonesia, especially about current situation in Indonesia. While it takes a stance and position reject the mechanism and platform of energy transition in Indonesia today, including the scheme for the JETP Secretariat for the policy reason, because why we respond JETP Secretariat, because JETP try to combine all the mechanism transition to JETP mechanism. The process being built is not democratic. We can imagine in our country, everything in the hand of the former in general military is always a gender in Indonesia. So it will be not democratic because it does not involve all stakeholders, including the people affected by this mechanism. And second, still prolonging the use of fossil fuel, and then funding come from debt, thus adding to burden of the people who are currently experiencing layer of crisis. And four, the mechanism and platform of energy transition being carried out in Indonesia, including the JETP institution, still do not have a strong legal basis, because it's very different between regulation and practice. This is why the big problem situation in Indonesia between regulation and practical, especially about economical, political. And fifth is the mechanism and platform of energy transition that have been and are being developed, including in the JETP mechanism. Do not place the value and principle of fair, just, and sustainable energy transition, including the principle of gender justice. So therefore, we demand the Indonesia government to develop a mechanism and platform for energy transition that democratic, sovereign, transparent, accountable, have integrity and anti-corruption, prioritizing the preservation of environmental function for human and non-human, respecting local custom, traditional culture, indigenous people, and increasing the resilience of community livelihood, preventing inequality and gender injustice, and supporting effort to overcome the climate crisis. and then have a legal basis for regulation that contain the principle of fair, just, and sustainable energy transition, including the principle of gender justice. And then do not use funding scheme that come from debt that will add to burden of the people. Currently, we in Indonesia we finally achieve to encourage climate justice bill in Indonesia, and we will start our demand and our consent to input to climate justice bill in Indonesia. Thank you for your attention. Salam Adil Lestari.